lovely to have you here, because the last time you did the show, very funny, but you'd been poorly. You'd only just got over the heart operation.
Well, I've had the all clear.
Have you?
I went to see the doc and I had to listen to me out with his horoscope and he said... I said to him, how do I stand? He said, well, that's what's baffling me, lad. He said... So, it was a right big sprawling hospital, you know. I was looking for the cardiac unit, so I'm going down the corridors like that. And I knew I was close by, so I opened this door, I went in, and there's a fella there in a kilt. Big beard, he stood up reading Scottish poetry. So I said, is this the cardiac unit? He said, no, this is the Burns unit. He said, no, you'd laugh if you could, wouldn't you? I know. Hey, I don't know. Sorry.
No, I was just wondering what we could talk about. Golf. You used to play golf before you had the operation.
Oh, yeah, I'm not playing it. I was in hospital again last week. I had a hernia transplant. And, hernia repair, sorry. I woke up in the recovery room and I had one next to me. I come round and he said, oh, you're still alive then? You've made it? I said, I'm all right. He said, do you feel all right? I said, yeah. He said, you don't look it, lad. He said, they've been bothered about it. They've been fussing round you. I said, well, I feel all right. He said, did you order a new suit? I said, why? He said, well, they've been measuring you for something. He said,
But you are sort of taking care of yourself, I hope. I mean, you're using the right diet and the right exercise and all that stuff.
I've just started a new I have a good breakfast, then I have brandy and diet water all day. And, hey, it's good. Last week I lost 7 days. And, hey, I was talking to Ian St. John, you know, about Rob, and the footballer.
Oh, the footballer?
Yeah. And he'd been playing in a veterans tournament in Florida. And the guy over there says, in Florida we have an over-90s tournament, you know. He said, all these guys are all over 90. And he said, well, how's it work? He said, well, they play one hole of golf every day for 4 days, and the one who can remember his score is the winner. I thought that was funny, you know. But not funny enough to laugh at, but funny, you know. No, it's wonderful.
Are you up in Blackpool?
The Grand Theatre.
Yeah, lovely, those old theatres. They're all disappearing, aren't they? I love those old theatres.
My favourite one was the City Varieties at Leeds. Yeah. Do you remember that when they used to do the good old days and people used to get dressed up in old clothes and go and watch the show? A bit like the first 3 rows here, actually. I came off the other night, right? I came off and I was stood at the stage the other night and all people were shaking hands and saying, well done, Johnny, and all that. Really enjoyed it. This Yorkshireman walked past, he says, Johnny, you're like a breath of fresh air. I said, thank you. He said, you get right up my bloody nose. I don't know.
I haven't been to Blackpool for ages.
Oh, it's upmarket now.
Upmarket? Blackpool's gone upmarket?
Upmarket, yeah. I mean, I used to stop in a real grotty bed and breakfast, you know, one of them... There's a crack on my plate. She said, well, that's your bacon. You know, like that. And, real mean she was, this old... She used to turn the gas over while she turned your sausage over, you know, and all that, and... I saw her the other week, and she said, you don't stay with it, and it was a filthy place. She said, you don't stop with it anymore, Johnny. I said, well, I've got my own flat now. She said, well, if you ever want to, she said, we're on the internet now. She said, you can visit our website. I said, visit it? I said, I slept in it last time I was there. Hey, no, it's thronging his Blackpool now. Even the toilets on up North Shore, the public toilets are on the internet. And, yeah, they've got their own email. It's www.co.toilets/ladies/gents. And, I don't know. They have some fun, though, don't
You're
you?
a little bit mad, I've decided, John.
I think so, yeah.
Is it just you or is it the rest of the family?
Well, no, I think all families are a bit dysfunctional, aren't they? I mean, my eldest daughter's very funny, but at the moment her career's in ruins. And, yeah, she's an archaeologist. And,
I thought that one, didn't I?
I've got... You see, you'll only have to look at your family. I've got a brother-in-law who's unbelievable. I mean, he had a promising medical career, this fella, and he had a real promising medical career, but then he was caught in a compromising position with one of his patients. And it was sad, really, because he was struck off, and he was a really good vet. And, no, but he's comical. He's got this natural wit, you know, like we were in the pub the other week and there's a fella pondering over his crossword, and he walked past and he said to him, 7-Ups, lemonade, and walked off. The fellow went, what? 7-Ups, lemonade. It was a gag, I'm a comic, you know. And, and when they had the music, they had the pub quiz, you know, when it comes to the music section, the question was, who or what is Def Leppard? And he said, well, it sounds like somebody that Mary Chipperfield trained.
Dare I ask, because you usually go on about her, every time you come here, you bring us the news about the lady in your life, your wife. Is she,
oh, she's all right, yeah. I passed her on the landing the other morning, and, good morning. I go home now and again just to empty my wallet and come out again, you know. She had plastic surgery last week, and I cut her credit cards up, and she said, I've not got enough outdoor interest, so I bought her a lawnmower this week, and... no, she's accused me of being nosy. She says I'm nosy. I mean, she hadn't actually told me that, but I read it in her diary, and she said... No, it's not easy being married. We haven't got much of a sex life nowadays. In fact, we just lie in bed and fart at each other and think about it, and... I know. We were in bed all last Sunday. Oh, but I'm not on my own, eh? I bet there's some blanket lifters out there, and... You know, I don't know if you know this, Des, but you know people who have the most birthdays live the longest, and... Could you imagine this Derby and Joan Club from Yorkshire, and they go Christmas shopping in London, right? And they end up in Soho, these old girls, and they go in a big sex shop in Soho. And she's 80, this old lass, she said, I'm going to buy something from here and try and get that silly old sod going when I get back to Yorkshire. He's 80. So she buys a pair of crotchless panties, right? And she gets back home to Yorkshire and she puts these crotchless panties on like that. And she goes in the bedroom, she says to him, here, do you fancy some of this, then? He said, I don't. He said, look what it's done to your knickers. He said... There you go. Wonderful. It's a ripper, isn't it, I know.
You want to tell the tattoo joke? I know we probably won't be able to run this one, but tell them the... Any jokes you like.
So this... I don't know.
I tell you what I wasn't aware of. You got any more before we get on?
The thing is, yeah, I've got hundreds of them, and I just can't think of them. And,
you told me about... It must have been 2 or 3 years ago, you were telling me... I'm trying to remember. You told me something about how Captain Hook and, was it Pegleg?
Oh, Long John Silver.
Long John Silver.
Can I do that?
Well, it's a bit of fun.
Can I stand up to it? Right. There's Captain Hook. Can you smell gas, or is it me? I think that's me, and that's a break up a picket line, that, and so there's Captain Hook and there's Long John Silver, and they've had 15 pints each, and Long John said, by the way, Captain Hook, he said, how did you get your hook? Oh, he said, we were boarded one day by the Customs and Excise men. He said they were looking for Lester Piggott at the time, you know, and he said, and, can you remember that? I heard they had to put a bag on his head and turn him round to get him in the cell, and, he said, we're to fight for our lives, man to man, sword to sword. He said, and we were doing fine, he said, until this fella hit me with the biggest pigging sword I've ever seen. He said, this fella called Wilkinson. He said, now... He said he jumped out and he went, shoo! And he said he took my hand off with one sweep of the sword, and they had to fit me the hook so I could steer the boat when it's my turn on the bridge. He said, but I've got used to it, John. He said, how did you get the wooden leg? Ah, wooden leg. Going round the Cape in a big storm, he said. We were short-handed aboard ship. I'd no buccaneers. He said, no buccaneers. Now, no, you're making your own up now. And, he said, the storm raged on. The mainsail ripped and the mainmast collapses, and it pinned my leg to the deck there. And they had to amputate my leg to save my life. He said, but these lads fitted me this leg from the snooker table. And he said, aye, it's been a good leg. He said, I just wish they'd take this bloody caster off. He said, while we're on the subject, okay, he said, how did you get the patch on your eye? Oh, he said, the patch was a seagull, John. He said, we were anchored off of Knot End one day, he said, and a seagull passing above me dropped one down upon me. I'm looking upwards, the seagull unloaded its cargo, boof, smack in the middle of my eye. He said, did that take your eye out? He said, no, but it was my first day with my hook and I forgot.
Johnny, you'll always be welcome here. You always will. And one thing I've learned about you that I didn't know, I wasn't aware that there was musical talent running through your veins.
Oh, aye.
I mean, I heard of Gene Krupa and I've heard of Buddy Rich.
Yeah.
Well, you've heard of Gene Krupa, Buddy Rich? Yeah. So has Johnny.
Aye.
You play the drums.
I do. I was in a group, we were called Herpes and the Blisters. And we did a few spots around London, but yeah, I played drums for many years as a... Will you give us a little turn on the sticks? Oh, yes.
They're over there.
Are they? Shall I?
Yeah, what are you going to play for us?
The drums.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Johnny's going to play the drums, Johnny.
Yeah. Thank you.
Good on you, John.
Thank you.
Johnnie Casson.